Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Pain of Change with Dr. Clarice. I am Dr. Clarice, a strategic business coach, international motivational speaker, and a podcast host. I'm excited today to have a guest that I've known for over 30 years and that I'm sure that you probably know too. And that is my esteemed, amazing, absolutely fabulous guest, Miss Kathleen Bradley Red. Welcome, Kathleen.
Thank you. Thank you so very much for having me. Finally, we've talked about me being on the show forever, and with our busy schedules, we finally have the opportunity to get it happening today.
Well, I'm excited to have you here, and I know a lot about you, and in terms of your family and your children and your grandchildren. But what I want to focus on today is, you, the woman, and how you came from Ohio and you was part of a famous dance group, Love Machine, and how that even though as you got older, you decided, okay, gonna be married, have kids, all that. But in the interim, you focused on a career too. And so through that career, you ended up uh, acting and also the first African American model on The Price is Right. And the first African American Barker's Beauties.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right. So we're going to talk about your experience of Backstage at The Price is Right and exactly how did you get there? So how did you end up auditioning
Okay.
for
Well,
that?
look, you looking sound like you're jumping the gun, Miss Clarice. Let's talk about it. It was a journey. Okay. So I think let's kind of go work through the beginning journey
Okay.
and how everything kind of started. And I always like to, because I do a lot of the podcasts and things. It's always so much fun, and I really enjoyed my various hosts. And of course, I'm just really loving talking with you one on one right now, and all of everybody else tuning in, watching. But as a young child, I have to say I've always aspired to be in show business. At the age of 8, I used to do little shows and different things for my mom and dad at home on the little toy chest. My brother Robert and I, we would put up a little curtain or something up top and have a string, and we do our little dance and singing and everything. And mom would always take us to the theater when it was like 5 cents, 25 cents to see a movie. Yeah, people, 25 cents to see a film, the gold with the silver screen. And I was always so in awe of the movies and how it was coming to us, and we're sitting here in this theater and watching it come to reality. And through that, it gave me some inspiration to be in plays in high school, and different things of that nature, and musicals. And I always loved to sing as well, and act and model. My mother gave me modeling lessons, which is always a good thing. And I do tell young people, get some modeling lessons. It's not as easy as you think if you're going to do some runway. It never hurts. Mom gave us, we had, what is it called? Elocution classes where you, that's maybe not the right word, but where you have your fork and your knife and everything. She had people showing us and teaching us how to do that. And when she would tell us as well, and everything and all of that she had done to prepare me and all of us children in the family. I had 4 other brothers. For the future, it really had paid off, even though sometimes it's like, I don't care where the fork goes. Who cares? Why you got 2 forks? You're just gonna need one anyway. But how important is that when you go sit
It's
down with some
etiquette. That's
royalty?
what we try. I just thought
Etiquette,
right?
etiquette classes and everything. But anyway, so I knew when I was in the little small town of Girard, Ohio, which is close to about 45 miles east of Cleveland and 45 miles west of Pittsburgh, because we're near the borderline of Pennsylvania and I live in Ohio. I knew I wanted to leave there. And after graduation, I did a few little jobs, saved up some money. I had my very dear, one of my closest friends was like my sister Terry. Scott was Jackson then. She and her mom and everybody moved out to LA like a year before I wanted to come out. Because otherwise, you know, how daring is that for anybody to pick up and leave your roots from your home and just go out somewhere to live and not know anybody? Because I didn't really know anybody except them. So everything happened to me pretty much in my life by divine order and in certain realms and steps that, you know, it led me from one thing to another. It's always a stepping stone and a great snowball effect for me to be able to roll in from one thing to another and networking and what have you when I got here. But when I got here, I entered into the Miss, all kind of beauty pageants. I was Miss Fine Brown Frame. I was Miss Hot Pants. I was Miss this. I was getting into everything I could, you know, because I did have a day job. I worked at Southern California Gas Company, actually.
What?
And that's a long period. Yep. But by getting into all these pageants, which I do encourage young ladies who really might want to be seen or get out there and what have you. Pageantry is a really great place to go, meet a lot of people. And, you know, thank God that the internet now, you can pretty much be seen and become an internet sensation. But being in the pageants and pageantry is really good and wonderful for young ladies, you know. And sometimes you can fall into the wrong place and get exploited. But for the most part, you know, they are really very well represented and they take you to another level. But by doing that, you get and becoming I was Miss Black California. And through the auspices of John Daniels from Mavericks Flat, and it was 1971, I was Miss Black California. And I quit actually working at the gas company and I got into the Miss Black America pageant. And I did okay in that. But by being in that, it allowed me they chose 5 different women from different states that kind of stood out in the pageant to go on a Miss Black America USO tour. And Vietnam was still happening during that period of time. It was pretty much ending, but my brother was in Vietnam over in Saigon at the time, Cam Bay, actually. And I went over there with the girls. I sang, and everybody did the little singing, dancing, whatever they did. We gave them a nice show. Those brothers were so happy and elated to see us and see the sisters coming off the plane and everything. It was an incredible, like surreal, out-of-body experience. Because, you know, back in the day and the time and you knowing about the Vietnam War and seeing all the terrible things happening and our young men and brothers and friends and uncles and everybody being killed over there. It was just an incredible experience. And I did get an opportunity to see my brother and hook up with him and travel around with him a bit. But by being in that pageant, and Mr. John Daniels, he had always wanted to have a singing group of ladies together. He had always had productions with different male groups and bands and entertainers and Seven Souls and all this and that. So he formed the singing dancing group called the Love Machine. The Love Machine consisted of 7 women. Some of them were in the pageant. John chose and thought that he would like to have in it, but they were all handpicked. We were all handpicked. And being in the Love Machine once again was an incredible experience. We all got along wonderfully. We were like Temptations, Tina Turner, Beyonce, everybody. We were a whirlwind of dancing, singing. We wore scantily clad outfits. We were so way ahead of our time, honey. We even got with Motown Records at one point with the group. But we traveled extensively throughout Europe. The very first time we worked and entertained was in Saint-Tropez, France. We went into the airport and left here, went into France and drove down to the south of France and Saint-Tropez. And thereafter, for 8 years, I was in the group. We traveled to Italy, Germany, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, Africa, Asia, Africa, all over. For 8 years, I did that. We worked a lot in Las Vegas. We opened up shows all over with Sammy Davis Jr., Julio Iglesias. We worked extensively with Tom Jones, doing opening act for him. Red Fox. We worked with Isaac Hayes. Oh my God, so many incredible artists and entertainers. I'm telling you, that was, like the beginning of just such a great experience and time. And that's going to be my next book. But it's
Yeah.
so much fun. So
Wow. All I could say is, wow, I knew some of that because I remember when you all, I remember actually I was in Vegas and I remember your group, the Love Machine, opening up for Red because
right,
I
that's
actually,
right. Uh-huh.
right,
Oh,
that was
what
back in the 70s,
you
right?
remember
And
that? Oh yeah, it was all in the 70s. I was in the Love Machine. I was in it from 1971 to 78. And the only reason I really left because I was going to get married and I was dating my first husband at that time, Bill Overton. And you can imagine it's difficult enough having a real relationship when you're together to work things out. And the long distance, the time frame that we were gone away from home was extensive. We were probably on the road 7 or 8 months out of the year, literally, maybe not consecutively, but I remember there were times we were on the road traveling for about 3 months in Europe without having to come home. So it took a toll on the relationship. He gave me the ultimatum: either you stay with the group or you come home, you're going to marry me. So I'm glad I chose the latter and I left the group. And then out of that relationship, marriage, we had a beautiful daughter, Cheyenne Overton, and my baby girl, Cheyenne, is now, oh my God, 39. God, she's gonna be 40. So it's flying by.
wow.
Yeah, yes, but we both have remarried since then, obviously, and my husband of 33 years now is Terrence Red, who actually you knew before. No, you didn't know him before. I did.
No, well, I knew his sister, Don.
Right, that's right.
Don and I were roommates together in at Sandoz in pharmaceuticals in 1979, 1980. We were in sales training together.
That's right. That's
And
it.
it turned out that I asked him, did he know someone named Don Red? He said, that's my sister. I'm like, what? Yeah. I mean, that was crazy because
It
I
is 6
remember,
degrees of separation. It's a small world after all, people. It is. Everybody knows somebody who knows somebody. I tell you, it's incredible. Every time I look around and see things that pop up or somebody knows something or wants to find out, it's just like it's right there in front of you. And which is gives you more opportunity for the most part, if you really take advantage of it. Who you know in this business is who you know. But you better
right.
have that talent to back it up.
Well, I mean, you know a lot of people and you know, to have that kind of opportunity in the 70s was very unusual because you didn't have a lot of, I mean, you had Motown, right? Okay, and the singers, but you guys were premier dance group, which I can't think of
But we
any.
weren't just dance. We were singing. We sang. But don't you gotta say we're singing dancing group. We were singing first and then the dancing. So there's a difference because we did actually work with some dance groups along the way that were with Soul Train after a period of time that they kind of put themselves together, and we actually worked in Japan together with I forget the name of them. Of course, Demita Joe and Madame Butterfly. All these
Oh,
people.
right, right.
They were the dance group, but we had actually several different recording labels that we were on and or approached by Clive Davis at one point. Wanted to put us on Arista Records, but he wanted to break the group up. He wanted Little Mary. Mary was like a fireball in the group. Pretty much between myself and Mary, we sang a lot of the lead songs. But Clive Davis, he wanted basically to have Mary and break up the group. And we're like, you can't do that. We had a contract with Ducali Records, a Japanese record company, and all kind of companies that we sang. And there's some songs out there today. People, when you go YouTube and put my name in, Kathleen Bradley, then put The Love Machine. And a lot of our old songs that we used to do, are now on YouTube. You know, back in the 70s, we didn't have the video cameras, we didn't have the phones and stuff and all that we have now. You can take a video camera picture of everything, anything, anytime. So we didn't have all of that. But what we did have was a couple of TV shows that were really big in Europe that we had done, and they taped it. So somebody went online and found it. There's a bug in here. Don't think I'm crazy. It's a little thing. But when somebody finally got it and put it on YouTube.
Wow.
And in Paris, there is a song I was leading and singing lead on called Rock Steady, Aretha Franklin.
Right.
We have these outfits they call the chains. They're like chain here and like a dog chain almost, and chains down here and something on our breast, and then midriff, and then some up. Anyway, it was live. It was a live TV show in Paris, France. So I started singing Rock Steady, baby, is what I hear now. And my top broke, the chain broke. And I'm like, and the girls are behind me dancing and stuff, and the cameras are rolling. I'm like, I had to do the whole song like this, one arm up, doing the dance and everything and singing. It's on live on, you can go to YouTube and see it, Rock Steady. And you can see it. And it's so funny. To this day on television in France, it is among the 100 bloopers, TV bloopers of all times. And they show it all the time. They're saying, oh, the girls have top breaks. And girl, if I had let that go on down, oh, girl, I couldn't let it go. I was like, oh no, it restricted me. But you can see it. Go on there and you'll find that video.
I want to find it. But you know what? And I mean, I've known you almost 40 years, okay? And I didn't realize until now that you guys, I really, and I apologize, I thought you guys were dancers. I didn't realize you sang and danced.
Yes, girl. We was singing and hitting it, dancing. And I'm telling you, we were like Beyonce personified, Tina Turner. Temptations, we worked with them before. Well, actually, when we were in Puerto Rico, the Temptations were also in Puerto Rico. They were on the other side of the island, but they had known of us from Motown and different things. And so we all hooked up, had a great camaraderie, a great time. If either they were off night, they'd come see us. If we were off a night, we'd go see their show. But every time after they finished their show, we were still, because we do a later show. They come right over to the Hunkamuka room at this hotel we were singing and dancing in. Girl, they would all come watch our show. And Otis Williams just fell in love with me. He's just a sweetheart. We're still friends to this day. But all of them were just so great and wonderful, coming in and hanging out, having such a good time. They said, Bang, you guys are female us. You guys are female Temptation. You're all the band. Oh, the Love Machine. They just love, everybody loved the Love Machine, literally. I'm telling you. Because we all just got along, such sweet mannerisms. There was no bitchism like you have today and all this ugly stuff amongst the groups and all this TV reality show stuff.
Oh, right. Like how they
we didn't have any of that. We really didn't. We were just sisterhood till the day we die, and still are, literally.
Well, you still are. I mean, you and Renee are still, I mean.
Yeah, we have Renee, Sandra Sully, Bernice Givens, Mary Hopkins. We are all still the surviving members of the Love Machine. Two of our girls have passed away, Paulette Gibson and Sheila Dean. We had two of our girls gone, yep. But and we actually, John revamped the Love Machine back in 1995, I think. I was still on The Price is Right. And his wife, Gwen Briscoe, who is an extraordinary entertainer, and she worked with some groups that John had too. And he she took my place actually in the Love Machine when I left. But I had an opportunity when he did revamp and put her in the group to work with her. She was like Lola Falana, Tina Turner, Beyonce by herself. This girl would do splits like this up in the air in high heels. She'd get down and do a split during the show. She'd get down on the floor. She'd turn. She's incredible. Gwen Briscoe. You can go on and look at her And the group, we just got intensified. At our older ages, we were still doing certain things in the show that were mystifying. We tried to make a comeback, but we stayed together about 3 or 4 years with the group. And, just some things got in the way and it just didn't happen. Well, we did work back in Las Vegas. My family was able to come see us and testify, watching the Love Machine at work, girl. There were just 5 of us at that point. But it was
Wow.
a wonderful opportunity, and it led to so many other wonderful things. And just the training was invaluable, people. Training. We had worked hard. We rehearsed hard. We worked and rehearsed day and night. John was the taskmaster. He had that whip. John Daniels would say, do this, do that. Literally not to whip people, but just he crooned us. Groomed us rather into becoming the young women that we are today. So a lot of that spills over into what you do in life.
Right. Absolutely.
Incredible.
It's so interesting about, I went to, I took that path initially of entertainment, but I pivoted because I started in acting in Chicago and doing extra work and all that. I went to Cleo Johnson School of Modeling and Charm. I used to model. I did all this. And then I, some kind of way, decided to go into sales. And I think because, unlike you, I had children young. So if I had stayed single, I probably would have continued a career in TV, film, that sort of thing, because that is my first love. And this is why the podcast is so natural for me, because this is what this is the passion. But, I was never able to go to the level that you went to because I had a family. I was a teenage mom.
That did make a difference in just not having any kids and family for 30 years and being able to, be free enough and not have that obligation and travel and see the world and do what I had done at that point in time. So that makes a big difference in life.
I was a part of a group called the Bill Cody Dancers and the Hash Chaparral in Chicago. And we opened for like Earth, Wind and Fire and the Parliament and Bill Clinton and all. But again, my little girl would be in the club with me because I didn't have any babysitter.
Is that right? Oh my word!
Until late, she would have to come to rehearsals with me. She would. Exactly. It didn't work.
Yeah, that wasn't working, but still, you tried to make it do, because had you hit it big, there's so much good money in the entertainment industry and the artist entertainment, acting, modeling. When you hit it big, it's big, and it is feast or famine. When you work, you get paid lots of good money. When you don't, you don't. A lot of people don't know how to balance and juggle that out and put away, because even typically now of our people and most people, you get a lot of money. You might have gotten your pandemic money. You might have gotten some money, a bonus for this, that, and the other, or work or something. And, we have the tendency to overspend, and you have the tendency to spend money before you get it, thinking you're going to get it. Then you don't get it. Then your ass is in trouble because you're going to have to owe somebody something because you already spent some money you don't even have.
but Kathleen.
And you work well with people in finance and all that, and young people too, I hear, Clarice, which is wonderful in the business strategy and coaching.
Well, I try to do that. And just kind of share my lived experiences, because that was kind of what I was able to navigate for survival reasons and have success in the pharmaceutical industry and not teaching at a university. But, my whole thing is with you were also talking about strategic. Let's just be honest about this whole thing. You were smarter than most women in your position, because the men that you collaborated with were businessmen. They weren't in the industries per se.
Well, not really. No, actually, my first husband, Bill Overton, he was.
Bill was. I know Bill was, who is now married to Jane Kennedy, and
Right.
but I know that, but he was still a businessman.
Yeah.
And,
Oh yeah. Oh
and
yeah.
then you
Definitely.
married,
Lots of real estate and everything. Yeah.
and then you married Terrence, who's an engineer and owns a construction company and stuff. So you were smart. Most women end up marrying Pookie and Junebug, who's also
Pookie and
Ray
June.
Ray. Oop, I shouldn't say Ray Ray because there really is a Ray Ray. But you know, but marrying people that's also in that industry in terms of being actors and actresses, and it doesn't always turn into a 30-plus year relationship, right?
Right. Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
the struggle is real. So after that, walk me through your next step. What
Okay, well, and let me just say one thing too about the Love Machine, and I'm gonna get on to the next step. But um, the song "The Love Machine," she's just a love machine, and I won't work for nobody but you. That was written for us, for the Love Machine, when we were with Motown. Actually, we were getting almost out of Motown. The Miracles, Billy Griffin and Pete Moore. When Billy Griffin took the spot for Smokey Robinson, and Pete Moore, of course, was part of the Miracles, the original Miracles. They knew of us. They had worked with us. They watched us work. They saw us. Everybody there knew the Love Machine. Everybody loved the girls. They called us the girls. Da, da, da. We worked with Hal Davis, Norman Whitfield, but just couldn't quite get that hit record. And then the Miracles wrote it for us. And don't you know, lo and behold, they played it for Suzanne DePass, ass, who
Yeah, but
if
then
people
the
don't know, but
Jacksons
they, listen,
recorded it.
they played it for her and said, Suzanne, this will be great for the girls, for the Love Machine. She heard it, she listened to it, she said, I think you all need to record that. They're like, no, 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 let's have the girls make it, do it. And she was like, well, the girls maybe are not going to be with the Motown anymore, or they're phasing out or whatever. And Billy, because a lot of this stuff I heard like a couple of months ago, Billy Griffin is a good friend of mine, was telling me and was saying, well, now they're phasing out. We're not going to deal with them anymore. It's not working. You guys. And Billy said, we'll put them on our label. We have a label. She's like, no, no. But the bottom line is that was and became and still is such a big phenomenal hit. We could have been on the map with that one song. I don't care if we would have been a one-hit wonder.
Right,
It
right.
was for us, by us, and we should have did it. And to this day, it's just still a sore spot. I
I'm
cry
sure I
every
can
time I hear
hear that. But yeah, because the Jacksons recorded that, right? Isn't that who?
No, the Miracles recorded it.
Oh,
They
they
did it
did?
themselves. The Miracles recorded it. Suzanne
I
DePasco,
thought
Billy
I was
Griffin,
just the
and the
love.
Miracle. No, honey, no, that's
Oh
okay.
wow.
No, the Miracles recorded it and made it famous.
Oh
Billy Griffin
wow.
was lead singing on it. That's pretty much what brought them back into the loop
Right,
after Smokey left. That
right.
was one of their biggest hits after Smokey left and when Billy came into the group. But that's just some trivia, people, in case you want to know. Anyway, after I left the group, got married, had my beautiful child, and I still stayed in the acting and modeling and did a couple of TV shows and what have you, and traveled with the Canadian Club fashion models and did what have you. But after Bill and I, we got divorced. I hooked up with my wonderful husband, Terrence Red, and uh, I had a lovely son, Terrence Red the second. And right after I had my son, about 3 months, my agent called me and said, Kathleen, oh, there's a wonderful opportunity for you for The Price is Right. They're looking for a beautiful black model. You would be just perfect. I'm like, oh, wow, I just had the baby. But for me, I always remained in shape. I had always worked out, even during my both pregnancies with my daughter and my son. I worked out at the gym. I went to the exercise place. I did aerobics and everything because I was always in shape, even during it. Like I said, I was playing volleyball when I had my daughter Cheyenne. Up until the next day, I had her playing volleyball on the Monday. I had her on the Tuesday. But I was in shape, thank God, because they wanted to see a model in a bathing suit. I'm like, ooh, I was a little reluctant. I wasn't down to my ideal weight, but it was pretty close. So I did go in for a few little auditions, interviews with the producers and what have you. And at some point, they had a lot of different models from all over come in and do a show or two, do actual shows. And I did that for about 6 months. They auditioned me, and finally they came to their senses. And they said, Kathleen, how would you like to be a Barker Beauty? I'm like, duh, how would I? I'm going to tell you, one of my dream jobs was to be on TV, a model, Barker Beauty. I had really thought about that and prayed on that because the timing was good. I didn't have to remember any lines. I'd model, I'd be on TV, I would be able to be with my family. And it turned out I actually wrote an affirmation and claimed it when I started working on it, before I even started working on it, when I was auditioning. I wrote an affirmation, and I think that's so important. And it's very important too for people to have their dream boards. Put your board up, people. If you want a house, if you want a car, if you want a job, if you want a singing career, if you want a modeling career, family, or what kind of man you want, what kind of woman you want. Get your little dream board and put it up and look at it, vision board every day. Add to it, put some money up there, honey. Get what you want and know how to do it and get it. Things are so accessible now with the internet and entrepreneurship and everything you can do, and find out what you don't know, learn what you don't know. You can YouTube or Google anything and
That's
learn
correct.
and get so much knowledge, But anyway, I did get chosen on The Price is Right. I was the first Black model on there for 10 years, from 1990 to 2000. And I didn't get put off right after 10 years. Myself and Janice Pennington, who had been there for 29 years. They didn't let us go right. There was a big old hoop-de-doo and all that, which I'm not going to get into. And there was I was under a clause, shut up clause, whatever you call it. Can't say things, nothing, for like 4 years. But after that, I started thinking about it. I said, I need to write a book. Let me write my story about being on The Price is Right. And then I did. And it took some time to write it. And I self-published. Though I did look first to try to get a publisher and try to get someone to help me get it, a literary agent. And all that's not as easy as people think, even for me, for my subject matter. But I wrote the book, Backstage at The Price is Right. Oops, if you can see it.
Yeah.
Memoirs of a Barker Beauty. Okay. And there's
you look just like Cheyenne on that picture.
So many wonderful photos in here of me being on the show.
God.
I love pictures. I have like 2 different areas of pictures in here of the days and being on the show. It's a great read too. It's a lot of fun.
And I have the book and I can't find it. It's in my bookcase.
Shame on you. You better dust that. It is a good, easy read. I know I've had people say they sat there and read it in one day. And I made it like that because as people are hearing me talk in the interviews that I do, the book is so me. I'm not trying to make some poetic kind of, people trying to do something really like poetic wording and making it. I'm talking real talk. And it's me. It's my memoir. My 10 years on the show. And I do reflect on some of of my bringing up. It's not my biography by no means, but it hits very closely on a lot of the things that we just talked about, because it is and was leading up to me getting the position on the show, which was on The Price is Right. From my days being on The Love Machine, especially being in The Love Machine, because I felt I was so well traveled and so well rounded at that point that I could hold the stage with the models, with Janice, Holly, and Diane. They had been there forever. It was, actually 17 years that the show had been on. The Price is Right originated in 1972. It was 17 years before they decided to even add a woman of color, a Black woman, on the show. So that was epic in itself. So, I do take a lot of pride in knowing I was on that show and the first Black woman to represent us. And I, just had so many people saying, hey, in the grocery store when I first got on and was on for a while, I could see girl, mom, and everybody talking, whispering, looking at me because at the corner of my eye, you know. And then they come over and say, "Ain't you that black lady on The Price is Right?" I never had a name. I was the black lady on The Price is Right. I said, "Yeah, that's me." She said, "I knew it, Mama. I told you that's that black lady on The Price is Right." But it gave so much pleasure to so many people, especially the elderly people who couldn't get out, who loved the show. Everybody loved The Price is Right. It was a mecca. You could go there, be on the show, don't have to have an IQ of 400, 300 like Jeopardy and learn and know something. All you got to do, everybody shops. Everybody buys some groceries and things.
Right, right.
It was just a joy watching the
It
people
was
play. It was
still,
a great show.
I don't watch it now, but when
It's changed a lot.
but you know, I didn't like Wayne Brady. I think that was his name. No, that he was Let's Make a Deal.
Yeah, he's still on Let's Make a Deal now. It's Drew Carey.
Yeah, Drew Carey. I never watched it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I watched it maybe a couple times, but I mean, The Price is Right was you guys to me, you know.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
And Barker, you know, he was the face of The Price is Right, and you guys, the new black girl that came out, and she seemed like a white black girl.
That was Claudia Jordan took my place.
I don't know her name.
But then they had a couple of others that came on that did whatever they was doing.
But nobody lasted as long as you did. You were there for a decade. You guys were a team, you know.
Yeah. We complimented each other, you know, we really did. But they, you know, The Price is Right. Unfortunately, they didn't really want us or allow us to expand into any other realm of show business or entertainment. They kind of frowned upon us even being on another TV show or a movie. You would think that would help out and promote it, which leads me into the movie Friday. I was still on The Price is Right when I auditioned for Friday because we wouldn't get any time off to go do the audition, which is okay and understandably. But actually Ice Cube, he was watching The Price is Right, and he said, "I want that black lady on there, black lady, to be part of the Friday, and I want her to play Miss Parker." But my agent called me, and I went and I auditioned, and it was a shoe-in, baby. You know, it just worked out. So having been on the show led once again to the opportunity of me being in Friday. And, you know, Friday is such a wonderful black cultural, what they call it, cult film.
Right. It's a cult film.
My God. It's 26 years old right now. Maybe 27. But it was a fun time. People always ask me, how was it working with Ice Cube and Chris Tucker and Bernie Mac? At that time, you know, everybody was just doing what they do. And it was Bernie Mac and Chris Tucker, none of them were who they are today. So everybody was glad to be working, period.
Right.
And it just worked out where everything and everybody was so well casted. And to this day, you know, it helped make a lot of mega stars. F. Gary Gray, for one, the director on there. F. Gary Gray, my God, he went on to do The Negotiator, Set It Off, the French Connect, whatever. I mean, he's done so many movies, I can't even name it. He's incredible. And I need you to put me in another film, Gary. Come on now.
Well, look, you know, not only, I mean, okay, I'm going to say, okay, so I'm going to go back to Friday, but I want you to tell me what was one of the most memorable moments for you backstage at The Price is Right.
Oh, and The Price is Right. Ooh, memorable. One of the most memorable and scary was we had the green room in the production room, same thing, where we would be during the takes, because we actually had a great schedule. This worked. We taped 3 shows a day. We worked 3 days and we'd be off 2 days. We'd work 2 weeks and be off a week. But we'd go backstage in between the acts. and they were acts or the scenes. Basically, everybody had to go out and show a little product of this and say da 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 da, new car or whatever. So when I first got there, and it's a little more time consuming, tedious than you think. People just being out there and being a pretty face. You have to do blocking and learn where you got to be and hit your spot, hit your mark, hold the product just right. See this glare? There's a glare. If it's not a glare, you got to turn it right, and they'll let you know. But anyway, they give you your production sheet and you mark it off after the production meeting and everything. Know where you're supposed to be, do the blocking, get ready. You start the show, you go out and you do your little act and whatever scene and showcase. And then you go back in the green room, you wait. There's a monitor TV in there, and you know where everything is, and you can hear the announcer, and we're sitting there. Sometimes we get in, the girls were talking if we're back there. Da, 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 da. One time, it actually happened a couple of times. I was in the green room, and I'm just talking to one of the girls, da, 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 and the curtain opens up and says, and a so-and-so Hawaii vacation. I'm like, oh, shit. I'm supposed to be out there in that scene. Oh, damn, girl, I took off running, trying to get out there and kind of slowly slide into it and everything. And I'm like, oh, shit. One of them I just totally missed one time. You open the door up, there's supposed to be a model back there.
Right.
Nobody's back there, boy. So I got called into Bob Barker's dressing room with the director and the producer and said, Kathleen, are you taking this seriously? If you don't want to do this job, I'm like, I was in like, right, yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know how that happened. I missed the shit. That is such a terrible sunken feeling. Your heart drops. You're just like, oh, shit.
Oh, my God.
You're looking at the monitor knowing you're supposed to be out there. This is live TV. It's taped, but it's taped live. And you're supposed to have your behind out there. And I'm in here running my mouth. And that happened to me maybe 2 times. And after that, when they called me in that office, that did not happen to me again. I said, I'm not letting none of these other heifers get my job, honey, my good old day job.
Right. You're keeping that day job. Okay, so now,
that day job.
So was there any type of effect when you did Friday? I mean, look, I still watch whenever it's my comic relief.
Oh, I still get a lot of money. We make more money from residuals than we got from the whole show itself.
Well, I know that I have it in my library, and I'm gonna tell you, everybody you cannot think, I can't, and maybe the audience can. I can't think of any movie that everyone in that movie that had a major part did well. Mm-hmm. I mean, everybody.
Right, pretty, yeah, yep. Anna Marie Hossford, and she's done a lot of stuff. Of course, Bernie Mac, Chris Tucker, Ice Cube, even Nina Long was in it. Nina Long, Tiny Lister.
Tiny, who passed away.
He just recently passed away. Yvette, the girl who was played one of the other girls, Yvette, and Paula J. Parker. She was in it. Paula J's always working. She's
and the dad. What was the dad's name?
Oh yes, of course we cannot forget. Having a brain fart right now.
Right. But I mean, he was.
John Witherspoon.
Yeah, John Witherspoon.
My girlfriend would kill me. That's one of my best friends.
Right. I mean, it was an amazing, and your scene with the water hose and the Daisy Dukes and like.
Oh, Miss Parker. Hi, Miss Parker.
Here she come. Wait, here she come. Oh, Miss Parker outside. They run outside that like.
Yep. Oh, that is one of the most iconic scenes in the whole movie. Between that scene and Miss Parker and one of the scenes, Bye Felicia, because they did a poll.
Oh, right.
Bye Felicia. Right. That is one of the most documented iconic scenes in the movie.
That scene of what her selling the video, VCR and all, they said, Bye Felicia.
Bye Felicia.
right.
All that, yeah. People say that all over. Bye, Felicia. That's my good friend Angela Means too. She's an incredible woman. I love her. She's a vegan. She has a great vegan restaurant here in Los Angeles. Angela
Oh, really?
Means. But also there are a lot of sayings. I think I did a talk show, and we talked about all of the sayings that people say, my neck, my back, my neck, and my back. Yeah, of course, our poor AJ Johnson, he just died last year, who did that
Right.
part, comedian. And just so many things that people say and mimic. There have been so many people, women who have mimicked Miss Parker that go on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. They just got a whole thing, and everybody doing that whole thing. Hi, Miss Parker, when you gonna let me fuck? I said, what you say, honey? What?
Right.
And the whole thing. There's so many online that I feel I've made a great impact by doing and playing that role. And people to this day that know me or see me or don't know me know who I am. They'll say, hi, Miss Parker.
Right.
My grandson, King Yari, he's 14 years old. Down syndrome, my sweetheart. He
Right.
calls me Miss Parker. He said, hi, Miss Parker. He said, hey, Miss Parker. I said, King, stop calling me Miss Parker. I said, you little Mr. Parker. Because his dad is a young guy, and all of his father's friends and everybody just love me as Miss Parker. They know when I come over there, they say, hey, King's grandmother, that's Miss Parker, man. That's Miss Parker. Hey, you Miss Parker, you Miss Parker. I'm like, yep. They said, do you mind if we call you Miss Parker? I'm like, that's okay. You can call me. I have people that know me just say Miss Parker. Not a close friends, but people
Right.
who are acquaintances or who know me or just met me. And Kathleen Bradley, nobody. Yeah, my name is Kathleen Bradley. Hello, Miss Parker's still the same.
But your
But I
grandson,
don't mind. I love it. I wouldn't have
but
it
King
any other
is
way.
such an amazing, he is such an amazing spirit. I mean, he is
King
one of the
Yari,
most, he's just amazing.
he
He's
is.
amazing. That little
I
guy
love
is
that boy. I was telling Cheyenne, thanking her so much for allowing King to be in our lives,
right,
because it's changed the dynamic of our growing older and having, King, he lives with us, and as well, Cheyenne's so busy. She's a single mom. And I want to give a shout out to her too. She is a hustler, honey. My baby does it all. She's has a great job right now with a big advertising agency, and she's used to do her massage therapy. She's also a bartender. She's a caterer, event planner. She plans hikes and bikes with kings and queens and different things with that all over the city and in different areas and places. So she's a hustler, and she's a single mom. So, grandparents step up, as we do.
right,
And with King, it was just an awesome pleasure having him in our lives. And I said, wow, Cheyenne, thank you for allowing us to be a major part in pretty much helping her to raise him and having him here with us. And it's just been an incredible journey with a 14-year-old Down syndrome child. When I was younger or whatever, I used to look at Down syndrome children because they have a very strict, very interesting characteristic about their face and eyes and stuff. And I said, wow, those kids are at that point, really long time ago, when I was younger, I said, they're very strange looking, you know, children, kids, or people. And I didn't know much or anything about Down syndrome, and then when he came out, he's the most handsome, finest little Down syndrome child. He doesn't really look like he even has it. But the older you get, your face really stays the same. You're going to get bigger. So
right,
your face size outgrows your little features on your face, which makes you look a little more like you have it. And I used to think Down syndrome meant they was going to be slow and this, but they're mentally a little slower and adapting to learning things and everything. But on the other hand, they make it up in so many other ways. And he's just such a pleasure. Boy, that's my baby. I'm so happy about King Yari Thomas.
well, I don't know if Terrence could hear this, but Terrence shared a story with me once about King, and he was trying to sneak outside, and he didn't know his grandfather was watching. But he was looking around to see where if anybody was watching him. And Terrence said, "Ain't nothing wrong with him."
No. Oh no, he's sly. Hold on. I'm looking for a picture with him now. But this is an older picture because people are probably wondering and saying, "Now who's King Yuri?" This is our king.
That's my baby.
That's the king is here. The king is here.
It's so cute.
He was about 7 or 8 years old on this. He's 14 now. No, he was maybe 10.
And
no, he was 10.
So big. I mean,
no, he was 10 there. Yep.
He can be
that's our baby. Look how cute and fine he is. Look at that boy.
And I watch him some of those videos that you share. He's been playing his games at school. And he loves him in a great school.
He loves it. We do have a great school. That school is exceptional.
That's the key. You all have him in a great school. You get him there every day.
Yep.
He's really engaged.
Yeah,
and you all don't treat King like anything's different. I can witness that.
Girl, he loves to dance. He can twerk his ass off. Literally, he can twerk. Cheyenne gets mad and says, stop it. Everybody says, "Oh, King." I'm going to put him on TikTok one day twerking. She going to get mad, but we're going to get some big hits. He could teach me how to twerk. I can imagine. You can't even imagine. He's an incredible. That's an art. Come on. That's an art, people.
And then you have Juno, your granddaughter.
Juno Callie. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's
2 years old. Beautiful. Right. Yeah, we've been blessed. Yep. All around Juno Callie. Yep. That's my son's daughter. So
so what's next? I know you were in Glendale earlier.
Right. Yeah, I'm doing a prudential print work, prudential. And actually, I must say, this industry is really crazy, people. It's feast or famine. Like I said, I've been working quite a bit lately doing certain TV, movies, different things of that nature. And I'm at a certain age where I'm like in between work for this and that. On the younger side, I'm not looking young enough to be in a certain category. I'm not really old enough to look like somebody's really great grandma or grandpa. But I bought me a wig, honey. Right. I got a gray wig I call Gracie, and it's curly, it's short. I've been getting more interviews and auditions with that wig than I have in a long time, looking just like this for something, because everybody wants this look. This is my hair and all, but
we didn't know. I know it's your hair.
I know, but still, just to try to get there to do that. But I'm doing that, and also I was on the TV series A House Divided with Lawrence Hilton Jacobs and Paula J. Parker is in it. Lisa Ray. I did the beginning, the very first series, very first show, and I am the matriarch of the family. I'm sorry, matriarch of the family. I'm married to Lawrence Hilton Jacobs. We have this millionaires. We live on this big estate. As a matter of fact, we shot the TV show at a $22 million estate in $38 million in Malibu, overlooking the ocean. That was our home. And the first scene I'm in, this young girl comes prancing in. I forget her name. Lord, I love her too. She's a sweetheart actress. She's seeing my husband and messing around with my husband. I invite her over because I know it. I want to talk to her. I send the staff home for the day, and then we start talking and everything. And I'm eating. I choke on a chicken. I tell her, I said, "Give me some water." She doesn't give me no water. She just looks at me, and I die. I die in the first season. Yeah.
What?
But they're bringing me back in a memory. You know how they have you can die in the show now. They can bring your ass back. They can bring you back as a twin. They can bring you back living. They can bring you back in a vision. But I'm going to come back and work on a scene with Lisa Ray, who's my sister, and I'm going to do that. And then, like I said, I got the Prudential print job, and I'm going to work on another film next month. I forget the name of it. And I just did a part as a reporter in a movie. It's kind of untitled, but it's about Malcolm X and what have you, and also getting some retribution for all the people who had said different things like George Floyd and Trayvon Martin and even Emmett Till, and these people that had said things that were still alive, the people would go back, the husband and wife, they were doctors, but they go back and they start killing these people and getting retribution or hitting them up or doing something because they lied and were responsible for these, our leaders or these people to be killed. But I was in that. That was a nice little piece. But there's a lot of good things happening coming up for me, so I'm excited.
Well, I'm excited to have you here. I want you guys to go on Amazon.com and please support Kathleen Bradley Red and buy her book.
Yep, Backstage at the
price of right. Memoirs of a Barker's Beauty. Mm-hmm. And and you can also find her at www.kathleenbradley.tv.
Yeah, my website, kathleenbradley.tv. And also my Instagram, people, Kathleen Bradley _ Mrs. Parker. That's my Instagram.
Okay, let's put that up there. So Kathleen Bradley _
Mrs. Parker. It's Mrs. Parker. Even though they said Ms. Parker in the movie, I was married. But everything basically is on my website that people want to have. There's icons on there that you can click on and lead you. So follow me on Instagram and my Facebook. I have several Facebooks.
Is it Ms. MZ Parker?
Mrs. This is MRS Parker.
Okay.
Mrs. Parker. I should have put Miss Parker. George Lopez, I was with him and he was putting some stuff on TikTok and he put _ Miss Parker. I wanted to have all those hits, but it was okay.
Well, we want to thank you for coming on. It's been indeed my pleasure. And, I can't thank you enough for finding the time. We've been trying to do this for a couple of years. And, I look forward. And Kathleen is also an avid golfer. And it appears that a lot of celebrity golf tournaments. And, she's just busy. And, what I love is that Kathleen and I, we have embraced being classy, sassy, and 70. And that I think, is carving out a template of what it should be like. You don't retire, you rebrand. Right, you're never too old. It's never too late. You don't give up. And older does not mean over.
Right.
And a lot of people want to make it over when it's older, but think about it. A lot of people our age also, they cave in, well, I'm old, I don't do that now, blah, blah, blah. And we have not done that. We continue to grow and to excel in whatever we do. So you certainly are the template of that. You certainly have inspired me, and I'm sure you've inspired our viewers today. And I thank you. I thank you immensely. I look forward to seeing you soon. And don't go off. I'm going to take you off screen and make an announcement. But you hang on, and so I can just talk about my show at 4:00 because I'm having a Neva on.
Yeah.
And so you can stay on. So anyway, at 4:00 we are celebrating still Woman History Month, and I was definitely blessed by having two of my dearest friends on as we close this month, and have Kathleen Bradley Red on, and the next at 4:00 Pacific Standard Time will be Neva, who just founded the African Textile Museum in Atlanta. So we will have her on, and my next guest will be Mika Robinson, who is the owner of One of a Kind Hats on Slauson in LA, who has done hats for some famous people all over the United States and the world. So thank you, Kathleen. I appreciate you. Hang on. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate you for watching, and thank you for helping me take my great to greater and walk through my victory from the pain of change. Until the next time, have an amazing day. And thank you all for watching. And Kathleen, thank you.
Thank you.